Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Titli and you're watching Titli. I hope you all are doing fine and doing great. I hope you all are reading as well. So today's book is a book that I read very recently and it has given me so much insight that I thought it is very important that I not only review this book but discuss with you guys so you guys can also benefit from this. And the book that I'm going to talk about is Who Moved My Cheese. Now this book is a book that is not just self-help but will help you on your self-growth. This book talks about how to deal with changes or how to be accustomed with the changes. Now in our life we all really struggle with the changes around us. Let it be personal changes, let it be occupational changes, or let it be all round environmental changes. I mean, look at us, with every seasonal change we all go with a flood of flu around there. So yes, this is a book that will help you to understand how to overcome and how to achieve your goal even there is changes that you are not liking. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now this book starts with the story of four people, well not four people but four beings who are like two little humans like the size of mouses, and then two mouses who were living in a labyrinth. Now in this labyrinth they go out in search of cheese. Now this cheese, even though in the story it is original cheese, but it is in your life you shall be taking it as metaphorical cheese. Now in this book these four people or four beings go out and search for cheese because this cheese gives them happiness. Now in this maze, when they are running around, the cheese never stays in the same place. So every morning they have to get up, run and search through different mazes, sometimes hit the blind ends and sometimes get cheese. So for their life they are not always getting the cheese, so they are always fighting for it, running for it. Not fighting in that sense, but they're always running in the labyrinth and searching for it. Now one day they got a big block of cheese on one of the maze corners, and they four were very happy that they finally got the cheese that they have been looking for. So they all just stopped running, and every day they would come and eat it, go back home, again come, go back home. But these two mouses who were having the cheeses, they never really get over their running shoes. Now this running shoes is also metaphorical, even though not in the story. So they were always ready. They never really thought that they will be living in this place, so they always hung their running shoes by their neck, so in case they need to run again through the maze they will be ready. But this two small person with their complex mind and complex thinking, they thought they have finally achieved the cheese, there won't be any need to run, so they were very much comfortable with it until one day four of them find that there was no cheese in that very block. Now so this cheese has been moved, by whom they don't know, even they don't know by whom the cheese was placed in their first place. So they were very much confused what to do. So the two people, the two small men, would sit there, wait for again the cheese to appear. But on the other hand, the two mouses, they started running around the maze searching for the cheese. So these two people with their complex mind and so much intelligence, thinking that who moved their cheese, why the cheese was moved. One of them was very adamant that the cheese must be returned because that was his cheese. He started believing that it is his right to have the cheese, and who would have just moved it just like that. And that's how the two people started sitting there waiting for the cheese while their bodies started growing weak and they were getting hungry every day because they were not getting the cheese anymore. Where on the other hand, the very simplistic, rather fool in comparison to the two human mouses started running all over the maze in search of cheese. So what does that this cheese with people and this man says? Now I know the way I'm saying this story might be little confusing and I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Go and read this book in case you want to know the whole story. It's like not even 100 pages, so it's 96 or 97 pages around, so it's a very short book. Go and read. So what I'm going to share with you guys are the teachings of this book. So in case you don't want to read the book in all, I'm going to give you the benchmarks as well as a summary of it. First and foremost thing that we all have to accept that change happens. Let it be anything, the change is inevitable. In the life where everything is changing around us, it would be full of us to think that the change will not happen or everything we want will be staying the same. That doesn't happen. So the first and foremost thing that we all should do is accept that change is going to happen and change is inevitable. The second learning that it says is anticipate the change. Even though you are getting comfortable on your skin, even though you are getting everything you want, be ready, be anticipated for the change that might happen any day. That's how you are not going to be taken by surprise one fine day and your world is going apart. So everything in your life is going to change, and when you accept it in the first place, in the second place, you start anticipating it. And anticipating it is what's going to make you ready when the change comes. The teaching of this book is monitor the change. So when we get something we like, we kind of turn our blind eye to it. So when you get the job you wanted for so long, you might be very happy with yourself, content with yourself that you have finally got your job that you have been wanting for so long, and somehow with this you start just putting blind eye on everything because you do not care for anything else now, thinking that you have already achieved what you had to achieve. Always monitor the changes around you. If you are working on the job, there might be new management coming, there might be new work process coming, and you have to be ready for it and try to keep up with yourself. Now, if you just turn your eye from all this thing that is happening there, all the changes happening there, one day your boss will come and say, so and so, you haven't done this job properly, so you're moving. You will be taken aback. So it is very important that you know what is happening around you. You always closely monitor everything you have, everything you know. That's how your insight will grow on the changes that is happening around you. Let it be a relationship, let it be a job, and let it be you yourself. So just keep on monitoring the changes that might happen. The fourth learning of this book is adapt to the change. So while running from one place to another, one of the character, that is how he writes in the wall that the quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you enjoy the new cheese. So the more you hold on to the changes that has happened, that you liked before, that is not happening anymore, the more you will suffer. Like, I think most of us cannot move on from the relationship that used to be there, and now it's hard for to move on, get into new relationship because of this, because we tend to hold on to things that used to be ours, and we are not always ready to let the new person or the new relationship or anything new at all come into our life very easily. And that's where the problem starts, because we are longing from something that is long gone, where we are not even trying to accept what is coming towards us. So it is very important that we adapt with the change. Like, even in the weather change, you changes. We don't go on wear sweaters on 40-degree temperature. I mean, that's going to make you sick. Even you have to adapt with the change. Even though it is your favorite sweater, you have to keep it in the cupboard till December comes. So adapt with the change in your life as well as in everything. Fifth, change. Now we have been talking about the change. Now it is time for you to change when the time comes. It could be your behavior that you require changes. It could be the job that you require change. It could be the line of study you are doing, you need to change because you are not doing great on it. Do something that is important for you. Do something that has potential. Don't just go on to something because it used to be great sometime in the past and you are not letting go. So be the change. Be with the change always. So if your cheese has been moved from one place to another, you shall also move with the cheese to keep up with the cheese you are getting. The sixth is enjoy the change. Now, if you do not enjoy the change, you keep on complaining about it, there is nothing good going to come out of it. You will never see the bright side of the change that has happened. Like, there is a very casualistic, very cas kind of proverb in Bengali that we all said that ja hoyeche mongoler jonnoi hoyeche. So it means even in Hindi ki jo hua अच्छा ही हुआ है. So what happened has happened for good. Now you yourself have to look for the good. I know there are some changes that you might question, how is that good for me? But you don't know. When one door closes, many other doors, like I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4,000, it opens. But it is you that who have to find it, search it, and just accept it. And the 7 is the whole cycle repeating. So change, even though you have changed yourself, your whole life you have to keep on changing, because that's what life is all about. So you have changed once and you cannot complain that I have already changed, still my life is not getting better. You have to change in everything. If you're in a job that is you have already changed, now you don't know what is happening, it's not doing you any good, just see if you're doing the job in a right way, if you are keeping up with the job, or you are just doing it the same way you used to do your past job. So you have to keep yourself upgrading, like you upgrade your phone. In case you don't upgrade yourself, if you do not do betterment, if you do not accept the change and be the change, there will be consequences. So I just tried to put this book in as small as possible. I just tried to make it brief, but I would suggest go and read this book, because I haven't told you the whole story, and it is everything. The more you read the story, the more understanding you get from it. Now this is a very small story and very small book, but the teaching it has, it makes so much sense and it gives so much insight on everything that I really appreciate it. Like as I said in my videos, that always look for self-help books which are made specifically for you. So the books I tend to read are the books that are for self-growth. So this is one such book, and I truly loved it, and the learning from this book is always going to stay with me, and I am always going to be forward to whatever change comes. I will be at least trying myself to make up for it. I will try to make myself be ready for it and try to change anything that is possible. So this is the meaning of the book. So yes, in case you are having problem with changes, you don't know how to deal with it, go and read this book, and I hope my video has helped. So yes, that's all. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.